4, 3, 2. Hello and welcome to Empire of the Lost. Next, week 3. How are you guys doing today?
Pretty good.
Well, I don't feel like a milder version of Rorschach anymore, so pretty okay.
You've been stewing on that for an hour.
Everything's fine and dandy. All jazzy here. Good. Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah, I'm doing well.
I have a sunburn on my back from when I went to Galveston, but other than that, I'm great.
Aw.
No.
You should take care of yourself. Make sure you get some friends to put some sunscreen on your back next time.
Teh.
You can't reach into all the crevices.
Or random strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Sure.
always willing.
Just be like... yeah.
Yeah, no.
God, stop with the dad breathing, please. I can't do dad breathing.
Did you say dad breathing?
Yes.
Well, that's a
Don't know.
description.
Interesting. Yeah.
Anybody else do anything interesting with your week so far since last week? I'm guessing that's a no.
Take that. Yeah, I'll take that as a no.
I don't
Yeah.
think so. I've been
Literally
playing a lot of video games just to make up for lost time. Other than that, not much.
Well, that's more than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this week has gone by pretty meh. Had to cancel a couple of games because either attendance or personal mood. Was feeling a little down for one game. Didn't feel like doing it, but that's then and that's there. And now we're here. So, we can jump into this and I can take out my pent-up aggression on the 5 of you.
Yay.
Are you sure you didn't do that last game, Knight?
Yes, because
Your
someone's
character?
still alive.
Yeah.
True.
You seem to. No, you did kill Raya.
And she's
Yeah,
still...
You
no,
just
no,
managed
we're
to
talking
bring her
about-
back.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Friday
I'm
game. that
technically
he's on.
still alive. I'm alive again.
Mm.
Yeah, we just brought your Jesus.
You live, you die, you live again, and all that jazz.
I am Jesus.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Whatever helps you sleep at
Edgy-
night.
Edgy version of Jesus.
What if Jesus was actually just the biggest douche, but he was such a douche people were just like, oh man, he's so cool.
I mean, he came back to life. He's a.
It's like,
You
you
have to
finally
look
have
at
died. Enjoy death. Nah, I'm tired of this. I've been here for 3 days. But you can't just, like, I'm out. It's like,
Too cool for death.
He's fucking ascends into heaven. He's like, peace, bitches.
Like, you can't do that. I'm fucking Jesus. I can do what I want. That's-
So much blasphemy.
This is D&D where we put ourselves in characters that... Shut up. This is roleplay where we put ourselves into characters that worship other things. So, it's fine.
Fine.
Oh boy.
So,
So much speed.
as we pick off where we last left, the scene opens up with a very similar dark fade into swirling nothingness of darkness and creatures as it flies through, making a sudden plunge into the plane of darkness as everything seems to settled off from where we entered last time. The bone trees at some points in the area fluctuating with heavy movement from creatures from underneath them, but in an overall scheme, things have settled to a significant degree as we move through the camera, through the plane, before coming to a familiar sight of the group now, after some hours have passed, figuring this is a better time than any to move along, as the camera continues to pan, catching the individual moments of each person in the party. It first starts with Riker. Go ahead and describe what you're doing at this point.
How late in the cycle is this?
It's been, as far as you can tell, about 6 hours.
Since we got up and started moving?
Yes.
Okay. I'm probably making rounds around camp.
I thought we were moving.
Yeah, we packed up.
So we packed up and gone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he actively said we were doing that.
And I'm somewhere near the front, probably not directly in front of the group, but looking around, kind of like kicking at a tree here or there.
Oh, right. Makes sense.
As Smokey would, almost into a toe next to you, his arms crossed over his sword, looking side to side, a very unhappy but could be worse expression as he moves along with your stride, as it falls back a couple of more, as the camera then falls on Raya. Go ahead and describe what she is doing in this period.
Where's Arsis? Because apologies need to happen, because I could have strangled her.
We'll wait on that. This is still the entry scene. Just describe what you're
You
doing.
already did that anyway.
Not enough. She is very, very lost in thought. It's kind of obvious she's trapped.
Hey, I'm
So she's just walking with a trapped, glazed eyes stare as she's walking behind Riker and Smokey as it continues to move back as it falls on Genghis.
Well, I mean, Genghis got through that fight pretty well. I don't think I got injured at all, actually. But, you know, like, he's essentially promised everyone in this group that he'd keep them safe. So he's the main two people he's like keeping an eye on at the moment is Raya, because obviously she's just had clearly a very bad time, and Arsis, and is essentially just swapping between like keeping an eye on them to making sure they're all right, and keeping an eye out on like what's around to try to make sure nothing sneaks up on us.
And as it continues to move back, it then falls on Asteron.
Are we on the move, or are we just about
We are
getting
on the
ready to
move.
go?
This
We're
has
on the
already been
move?
said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, something a fucking airplane just flew over my house and shook my entire house. What the hell? I'm sorry.
Considering last session I was saying we should harvest the bone thing, I probably would have picked up like a couple of the ribs and start just playing with them, kind of knocking on each other, just doing this, trying to keep my mind preoccupied before I go off on a tangent again. Since clearly no one's really seems to be in the mood for Asteron right now, so he's just kind of just playing with sticks and keeping to himself for a little bit. Maybe strolling along right beside Bretzulian, maybe making a few side comments.
And Bratstolian would be moving in tandem with you, and you can see like it's a couple of hushed conversation between the two of you, not to let it hang in the air too far to not cause a disturbance, as the overall demeanor of the group is pretty thick at this point, as it finally moves to a point where the camera circles around, following all of you now. And goes back about 15 feet away from the last two. As it's now at this point to Fayana and Asteron. Not Asteron, Fayana and Arceus. As it moves in, as it gets into the two of your conversation. That was a lot more troubling than I first anticipated.
Yeah, it is. Not what I expected at all.
You didn't get hurt in that, did you?
Oh, no. I didn't get hurt.
Well, that's good. That could have ended up... She kind of begins to chuckle a little bit. A lot worse than it ended, huh? To be honest,
Well,
something didn't feel right when I was holding... She kind of gestures towards Raya.
what do you mean?
There's a darkness on her.
I mean, she just went through a lot. I think I don't know. I don't think I think she's okay. She's just got a lot going on.
Alright. She says, looking back at Raya as you say that, breaking eye contact with you. As she says again without looking at you. Right. As the camera moves away from you too. As this would be the point where the entry scene would show up. As it circles around it a couple times before moving back to the group. As you travel to what looks like a large stone in the middle of the forest that encompasses a good 200 to 300 feet in length and pierces up into the sky about 30 to 40 feet. It's more like a large... Think of a large mountain, but not mountain in a sense
Like
that...
a spire.
Kind of like a spire, yeah. Of stone that's just sat here. And as it looks around, you can see that the ground in this area seems to be cracked and riddled with, impact marks, as if whatever this wasn't natural and probably was heaved or thrown or dropped from a high angle. And then found its rest here. As it gets to this point where you could see the stark sun, as you will, begin to coalesce and get very familiar into the sign that the next cycle is about to start.
Well, it's gonna get pretty warm soon.
Never gets pretty warm here.
Well, warmer than overwhelming darkness. Well, in any case, sooner or later that sun's gonna blow up and some shadows are gonna be cast out. So maybe, hopefully, if our luck is good, one might land near us.
I suppose so, but
Are any of us really in the mood to do any more fighting?
yes, I was about to say, I think people may want to recuperate a bit before fighting anymore.
Well,
Us are still greatly wounded.
yeah. Well, where do you think we should rest up? I mean, I don't know if your friend over there, the one with the white hair, whether she's able to put up another barrier.
If it's needed, yes, I can. Granted, they only last for 12 hours. And then I won't be able to do it again until a significant amount of time.
That's still more than long enough for a full rest for everyone.
Does everyone
could.
want to do that?
Though I suppose it might be a waste if we don't need it.
I think, she says, looking over at Raya, I think it's good that we take a rest now.
We certainly wouldn't want to overwork anyone. We need to escape, definitely, but we don't need unnecessary risks.
We've been here as long as we have now. What's one more day, right?
Exactly.
They could make all the difference.
Could it?
You'll be surprised.
Why?
Just in general, in life. A lot can happen in a day.
Well, like what? In particular to here?
Oh, you might find some people that you really like, and then one of them might die, and then come back again. A lot can happen in a day.
Was that really necessary?
I think we're resting so we avoid someone dying in the first place.
That's my kind of. Right, sorry, right, bad taste. Let's just camp. Sometime soon.
Yes.
I'll do the necessary preparations.
Yeah, do that.
As Arceus would move over towards the rock and just put a hand on it and look around in her surroundings as she moves from the rock a good 30 feet towards the forest before getting on her hands and knees, or getting on her knees, putting one hand towards the ground and another towards her chest as she just bows her head, as you just feel this emanation pulsate around her of what feels like pressure. As the pressure grows, you watch as, like, 5 foot by 5 foot, the trees and landscape that are around her would just, almost as if they're being disintegrated, vanish and be left with a very taut, soft ground surface. Something akin to just really good camping ground that just slowly emanates and grows as the trees that were there just start to vanish and disintegrate and go out until it's around 40 feet in circumference, just carving in some of the caves, or some of the rocks, so it looks like it's somewhat of a cave now, as pieces of it seem to be disintegrated and made into this very fertile camping ground area. As she stands back up, and while she was doing this, you guys actually felt this force kind of like pushing you outwards, like away from her as it starts to grow before she finally gets finished. As you guys are like 40 feet away from her, it's like, alright, it's done.
It's quite spectacular.
Quite.
It's something that my mother taught me.
Is that difficult to do?
It's possible to learn, but I guess to a certain degree, yes, it could be difficult for some.
Oh. Certainly useful.
Very welcome.
She would just give a soft smile as she would gesture for you guys to come in.
Yeah, I'd enter. I guess start like unpacking and setting up tent and the bedroll. I believe it's a bedroll anyway.
Astron checks with his hand, making sure they can pass through the barrier. In and out, in and out. It's good.
It's a blanket, not a bedroll.
Yep, it is all good.
Okay, he passes through. Okay. And he's gonna go try and find a good spot to put up his tent.
There's many places you have this tilled ground that's just really soft. Like, you don't even need a bedroll as you lay on it. It has a temperature to it that, no matter what the temperature outside it is, it has a good counterbalance. So you could even just sleep on the ground and everything would be fine.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he'll do. He'll have a tent over him, but yeah.
And Ryan? Looks like you froze.
Wakey, wakey, eggs and
There you
bakey.
What?
Looked like you were freezing for a moment. Go ahead.
Oh. I'm just
Oh, froze again.
I'm just
There you
quietly setting up. God damn it!
No, we got it. You're quietly setting up.
Okay, good.
You might want to turn off anything that you have playing in the background. It looks like you're having the same... Well, you're not
I
having
have
a...
nothing.
Well,
Weird.
now you're good. It just seems to freeze at the most ill-opportune times for some reason. But now you're doing... we see that.
Yep.
I can
Don't- no,
take
don't use
this
too much.
and it can shove it up its ass.
Okay, don't.
But you're good right now, so keep talking.
Okay.
You were just setting up? That was it?
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
As it moves over to Rykor and Smokey.
Yeah, I'll walk in and follow suit with setting up camp. I want to be somewhere near the edge of our barrier inside. And then if Smokey wants to be near me, he can, because he doesn't have any kind of tent or bedroll or anything like that, so he can chill with me.
Bro TP.
Well, as you're doing that, Smokey's like, been a good distance following you. It's like, oh, why do you want to be so close?
Well, I don't know. This place makes me very uneasy. I know there's, or I assume there's safe space in that direction. The more I can see in this direction, the better.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll stick with the others a little further in.
It's quite all right.
Thanks, by the way. He says as he's about to walk off and turns and says that.
Anything you need.
He raised a furred paw up and did a thumbs up as he walked back near the center of the area to just do a little circle and roll on his back with just a happy sigh, looking up towards the shadowed sun right at the moment of its expansion and explosion. Of the darkness of this plane coalesces over the entire sky as the living forces that make up the sky begin to move around in a orchestra of unspeakable nothing. As you guys feel the beginning of a temperature change, but while in here, whatever changes on the outside seems to be nullified with whatever this area is allowing, as it just feels comfortable.
So as Smokey rests down, Astron kind of materializes right next to him. It's like, so Smokey!
Leave him alone.
I have a question!
What is with your obsession with making
God.
fun of Smokey?
What?
So, Smokey, I'm just curious. You and Rykor seem to be very close, very entwined.
What about it?
I'm just wondering, any cool history there? Any interesting history?
Oh no.
Not for you.
Aw.
Yeah.
What, you can't give me like cliff notes?
He picks up his paw and just does the shoe motion to you.
Ah, come on, man. I get really up and close to him, probably even touching the fur. Come on. Come on.
He just looks at you with a straight, plain look, holds his paw up as his claws extend from him, like right up near your face. Look.
I'm gonna walk
Alright.
over to
We'll talk
Asteron,
later. We'll talk later.
and I'm going to just
hi, Fiona.
gently pull him away from the two. Just don't mess with Smokey.
Okay. We'll talk later. I don't know. I'm trying to be nice. Don't friends usually talk to one another and get to know one another?
Some
Your
people are just a
version
bit
of-
more quiet. If that's what they want to do, then you just kind of have to respect that.
Not used to quiet. Well, how about you, Genghis? What's your story? How do you...
What do you mean, what's my story?
Life story. Any cool stories you want to tell?
That's it's obviously quite a long story, isn't it?
Well, give me cliff notes.
Such as what?
Birthplace, parents, reason to be where you are right now.
Well, I was born in Crystal Shore, I suppose. My parents are still around. They used to live there, but they moved. And I came here with Raikor, Raya, and Batsulian. We kind of got stuck in it was a portal of some kind, or something along those lines.
What were you guys doing before that?
There was this. I suppose they were a gang. They're called the X-Crosses. They were doing bad things to people, and we decided to stop them from doing bad things to people.
Ooh,
And-
what type of bad things?
Harassment, violence, and slavery for
For
the most part. They also had a lot of people kidnapped, and I don't know what they were doing with them. It seemed to be torture. I don't know why, but that's what they were doing.
That sounds horrible. Really, truly.
Oh no.
So why'd you guys all come together?
Well, Raiko and I were in the area to help Gristle Shore. They were very recently recovering from an attack. And I suppose Ryan Bratsulian just showed up, I suppose.
Is Raya within earshot of this?
I suppose so. We've all got our, tents nearby, and Genghis isn't doing anything to be quiet about it.
So Raya, how's it been traveling with these guys? You stick around, so you certainly like them, right?
I don't know.
find
if
them
she's
a
in the
good
mood.
balance to my nature.
Oh, what is your nature?
That's not something you want to know.
Are you sure? Because I feel like that would be a lovely thing to just,
Ask
fresh out the air. Let it...
on. Drop it.
Okay. Astron kind of goes within himself a little bit. So, what was your family life like, Genghis?
What do you mean?
You know, siblings, parents, grandparents, guardians.
Genghis is suddenly looked like pretty upset. My brother died not too long ago.
Oh. My condolences.
It's
At
fine.
the mention of that, you'll see Riker just do kind of something with an arm motion and just look towards the ground.
What was his name?
He was called Attila. Yes, he was a very good person.
I'm sure. Older or younger?
Younger brother. He always looked up to me, but I always looked up to him too.
Well, I can't really talk about a lot of loss. I mean, I do have loss in my background, but it's not the type that you'd probably be used to. Well, I mean, you know, things happen, you know. It goes. There it comes. Well, anyway, it was nice talking to you, Genghis. I now know a bit more about you, and we're even closer to becoming friends. As he puts his arm around Genghis, pats him on the other shoulder.
Oh, all right.
Jimmy, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
This touchy creep.
So as he looks over to the very far side of the barrier, Rykor, you want to come over and join in this grouping of friendship?
Yeah, once I finished, I was already walking over there. So by now, like towards the middle of your conversation with Genghis, I made it over there.
Well, Faye looks over at Genghis, and you lost your brother?
Yes, I don't want to be rude, but it's not something I really like talking about.
No, I understand. I lost my brother too.
Oh.
Sorry. No one should have to go through something like that.
I know. I'm sorry, I just thought it's okay. She kind of looks off in the distance.
So around this time, Wrecker, you would have met up with the two of them, sat down next to them.
So, Rykor, what are you all about?
These days, rebuilding Bristleshore. More immediately, trying to get back. It's been our home for a few years now. I just want to see it restored to where it was and hopefully rebuild past that.
Oh, what happened to it?
It was attacked by the Empire, we think.
It's definitely by the Empire. It matches what they normally do.
So, based on a track record of the answer to this question, I probably shouldn't ask, but I'm just kind of curious. Family, friends, Rykor?
Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. I'll tell you about my family if you tell me why you're so attached to this ring.
The one I'm finding?
Indeed, the one you want us to help you with.
Seems fair enough.
Okay. This ring, and I haven't told anyone about this, so it's just you, so just keep that in mind.
Well,
I'm really trusting you on this.
you're aware like other people are around that probably hear this too.
Well, I mean, the other people around here, but I'm assuming you guys are all trusting one another, more or less.
So basically the entire group.
Yeah. So, this ring is supposed to guide me to something I desire. That's more or less the long and short of it.
What is it you desire?
A person.
How did you come upon such an item?
Through my travels of trying to find said person, I came across, a few leads. And found myself here.
So what, is it just some sort of pull that leads you in a direction?
I assume so. Should I roll I'm gonna roll a knowledge arcana to see if I know exactly how this ring's gonna work once I find it.
Would be
no,
a
I
Be
don't.
more
DC.
like knowledge magical item.
Depends
Well, I
on
don't
what he
have-
wants to roll. So if you're rolling
Yeah.
the knowledge arcana, the DC is 50.
Okay. Alrighty.
Well,
That's
go
like-
on then.
Yeah, that's why you do want stuff like knowledge magical item because it's more
Yeah.
specific, so the DC would be lower.
Yeah, but I didn't know it would be that. Okay, sure, whatever. I'll do it for the.
You might, yeah, you do it because you would.
Do it for the laughs.
24. So like
Brilliant.
almost half.
What you know is it
Almost.
does have some kind of similar to a compass effect of it leads you in the direction of where you want or what is the thing that you want and where it's at. But in its actual mechanics of how it works, like if it uses magical spells, if it uses technology, or whatever it does to work. You don't know the full specifics, but you know what it does.
Okay. I relay that to the group. Yeah, so don't know exactly how it's gonna work, but sort of like a compass.
Okay.
He's literally Jack Sparrow.
Why? So if you want to find someone so badly, like why do you want to find this person so badly? Is it a particular person or
A
just a
particular person.
Is it someone you know?
Yes.
Have you met them before? Or that
Yes.
might be a... Alright.
Yes. We worked closely together.
friend or?
An old friend. Yes.
Right, well. I guess I'll
Mutual
tell
friend.
tend to
Mutual
write all that.
friend.
Be like, that's all we really need to hear, right?
I think so.
I think we don't need to do any more interrogating.
Well,
Or I
So,
might...
Rykor, family, how's you?
Oh,
fair
yeah.
is fair. I'm from a small farm, a few days' travel outside of Prim.
A farm boy. That's so quaint.
Yes. We were happy there, my mother, father, and I, until the army came calling. They forced my father into selling me into their service. And that's where I spent years learning to fight, learning to lead. Moved up the ranks eventually. One day I left. And then I spent the next few months traveling alone, looking for somewhere quiet. I didn't want to go back home. I thought that if my parents knew I'd left, they'd suffer retribution. I ended up in Crystal Shore and became confidants of Floyd and Attila. We spent a few years together. And then Crystal Shore was attacked, and now I'm beginning to realize that our small town life maybe isn't as productive as it needs to be.
Well, I assume once this is all over and you find what you're looking for, I'm sure you'll eventually be able to settle down. Don't give up hope, as I kind of pat you on the big shoulder bicep, whatever it is. There's so much muscle that I don't know what I'm touching when I touch your arm, but whatever.
I might have a question for you, actually. Earlier, when we were investigating in the dark, before we all met up, I suppose, I found a few things. I don't suppose you might know what they are.
Well, let's see.
Give him the knot gun.
No, that's the idea. So, Genghis would get out these two items. One of them is this very kind of strange object. It's got like a long tube to it. It's got almost like a handle, like on top, as like one might have on like a carry case or something. And it's got like what appears to be something like a crossbow trigger. And the other item is this much smaller, like the first item is quite large. The second item is this much smaller kind of rectangle. And it appears to be made almost of glass, like this very dark glass.
I'm gonna roll a knowledge dark to see how much they relate to the dark.
Has no relation whatsoever.
Well, something I can tell you, this has nothing to do with the dark, so whatever these things are, probably outside my area of expertise.
Well, you know magic as well, right?
A bit.
Are they not magical? Look, with this one, you can make people show up, and don't get. No, not fuck shit. Damn it! No. Not
Where
Are
those
you
notes at, boy?
Not
Are you
first aid
okay?
game.
What?
Bad. I accidentally said the wrong character.
Uh,
Bad habit. Don't do that. No,
What?
alright. Genghis would get out would get the smaller rectangle one, and he would. I've been able to do this the past few times. he would press the small button on it, and I can't remember what
As
was
he
actually on
presses it, you watch as the square glass, black dark glass, shines with the very dim but very bright light. Like, it doesn't illuminate a far distance, but it just brights up that it's very apparent and whatnot. As you have to cover your eyes for a moment from the surprise as you look, and you see what looks like a woman dressed in this weird, like, skin-tight suit, just with this happy smile, holding on to another person that seemed to be dressed in another skin-tight suit. Both of them having identical symbols, like, rested above their right chest, as they are just, like, hugging onto each other and doing the strange symbol with their hands. It's like these two fingers up and the other ones folded in on themselves towards, as if they're looking at you and just making this gesture towards you with two fingers up.
So you press that button and these people come out.
Yeah, it has to be magic, right? It's definitely not a drawing.
Well, I would think so.
It's not people I've tried before that you can't get their attention.
Huh. Perhaps it's, I'm gonna roll a knowledge, arcana. No.
Yeah, no, this does not seem arcanic based. Like, if it had anything to do with the magics, like, you'd be able to change or do something, but this is different. Strange.
This isn't magic. I mean, I don't get around that much, but, I don't know, it might be a projection of some sort? I mean, I know, people have been able to do many things that don't even require magic in this world we live in.
There's, like, I've never seen anyone be able to do anything like this without it.
Yeah, maybe it's just people who wanted to. Maybe it is something like a picture or a portrait where someone may just want to.
As you get to this point,
memento.
The image that was there just darkens by like half the scale.
It does that after a while.
Oh, okay.
Is that Arceus and Feana also like around like here?
Arceus has set up her tent in the little outcropping of the rock that was cut away, so it's somewhat like a covering, like a little overpass cave that she has her divider like showing or blocking off the actual view of her.
Right.
AKA she's like made her own personal room.
I'm going to go see if Arceus knows. She's been here a while. She might have an idea.
Here. I'm near you guys.
And Genghis would pick up these two strange items and go over to Arceus' tent. Get to the bottom of this mystery.
So, as you move over there, just sitting on one of the trees as you're making your approach, you notice this creature.
There's a creature.
Yep,
Oh no.
God damn it.
As it has its wings folded down next to it and its head just like cocked to following your movement, essentially.
This is the try to be careful and maybe not pet it because it appears to be a kind of bird. You don't really pet birds, but attempt to show that he's no harm, and I'm going to attempt to roll a handle animal check. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes.
So as you try to approach it, like going towards the edge of the shield, you watch as it just unfurls its wings and it flies off into the sky.
Odd.
Bad touch.
Because it flew off into the sky, would any of us in the other part of the camp seen this?
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Yeah, I would have been outside of my tent talking to everyone, so...
Don't
Do you want me to make a
sight?
spot check? Okay,
Yes.
that's...
Well, it's spot or listen. It's up to you.
Oh, give me that listen.
And
Wait, how do
any
you roll
kind
a
of lucky
perception check?
Yeah.
spot or listen.
Spot or listen.
Oh, okay.
Worse than all.
Perception to cover all for any of the noticing things are there.
So that's a
rolls.
3.
So Rika and Raya, yeah, you guys notice as you turn your head and you see this about eagle-sized bird fly off into the distance. It's a decent size, give or take, and it just looks elegant as it flies off. A mixture between bright white tips on its wings and a dark winged body with glowing blue like wings that make small symbols on it, somewhat like it's this giant flying eye in the like contrast of the dark sky as it's flying.
What is that?
Huh? What? Where?
And when he says that, you see it.
Okay, I'm gonna make an Arcana dark. A Knowledge dark.
An Arcana dark.
Good job.
Big money, no whammies. Dang.
So you know that to be another of its native denizens to the Dark Plane, known as a dusk dove.
Dusk dove.
It sounds pretty.
Okay.
They're
Anything else?
generally scavengers.
Like it has a pretty name.
Scavengers. Okay, so not like the type of things people would keep to spy on someone, like that bug or whatever.
Not necessarily, no. I mean, you could
Not
train
usual.
one to do so, but no.
Huh. That is a dusk dove. War stories you wish to tell?
Many raids, many things looking back that I can see now should not have happened. Time went along that I was on the wrong side of the war.
Well, at least you found your way. Isn't that what we can all hope to achieve, right?
Finding, I should think.
Oh. Well, I wish you luck.
And as you guys get to this point, as it's just this very somber
I
scene,
starts
everybody
playing with
begins to...
Ribs again.
Oh, great. They can't hear me.
Hey,
Hello?
Raya, I usually find that this is rather relaxing. Do you wish to partake as I hold them out?
Nope, because Skype is crashing.
That's a nice one.
Alright, can you guys hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Alright, Skype was being a butt.
Yeah.
Mm.
But as you guys get to this point of just this very somber mood and whatnot, we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the night.
Go.
Hooray.
Let me get my
Yay.
charger.
So,
before I-
Coffee
thank you
time.
guys for watching. Remember, you can follow Nightxgamer at YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, almost any social media to continue following on of what happens in Empire of the Lost next. And we're going to go ahead and go get something to eat, drink, stand up, coffee, and all that fun stuff. So, we'll see you guys back in about 15 minutes. Peace.
Those plugs, yo.
Okay.
I'm gonna find out about my phone and gun. You can't
It's a
stop
phone.
me.
It's a phone.